Welcome back. Well, there's much debate online about Sunday's earthquake in southwest China's Yunnan province. Chinese state media says more than 580 people have been killed and more than 1,800 injured. Now, the 6.1 magnitude quake hit Ludian, that's a mountainous county. It's home to more than 250,000 people, about 225 miles northeast of Kunming, that's the provincial capital. Now, the quake severed local communications, power, and transport lines, making contact with the area difficult. Well, it was also felt in neighboring Sichuan and Guizhou provinces. Now, troops, police, and firefighters are in the disaster zone, but rain and thunderstorms have hampered efforts to bring in tents, water, food, and other relief supplies. Chinese media outlets have devoted plenty of time and space on the earthquake. Now, while online, Chinese posters have also been closely following what's been happening. For what's being said, let's now join our researcher Esther Dung in the newsroom. Thanks a lot, Esther, for joining us. First off, what are the main reactions to this latest natural disaster?
Well, there's been lots of discussion online. First and foremost, many posters feel sad about what's happened to people there. First, have a listen to Xiaotao Shixiong, who has this to say. The earthquake has destroyed so many families. I saw a report saying a middle-aged man lost his wife and 2 children in the earthquake. What a big blow for him. I felt so sad that I couldn't stop crying. And also many are impressed with the efforts of rescuers. Listen to Mao Lihui, who says on Weibo.com. I've seen helicopters sent to the earthquake areas, and many seriously injured residents were immediately taken to hospital, potentially saving their lives. To be honest, when I saw videos and pictures of the helicopter taking off, I felt so touched, but it also gave me more confidence in this country. At the same time, some posters hope they themselves can do something to help. One typical example is Reborn Xibao'er, who remarks, I want to be a volunteer in the earthquake area. Anybody wants to go with me? And I'm trying to contact those in charge of volunteer recruitment. Anyone who knows something, please send me some message. Finally, this poster on chinacourt.org has this suggestion for residents in earthquake-prone areas, saying, earthquake areas are located in gorgeous areas, and it's the rainy season. After an earthquake, there are likely to be secondary disasters like landslides and mud flows, so people there should stay away from damaged homes and be alert to aftershocks.
You know what? The quake has resulted in many deaths and injuries. We've seen that in reports. Now, are there any fingers of blame being pointed?
Well, on this question, I first listened to a rather confused poster who asks on QQ.com. The authorities give 4 reasons why the earthquake this time has caused so many injuries and deaths. First, the strength of earthquake. Second, that it happened close to the surface. Third is it happened in populated areas. Fourth is the houses there have little resistance to shock. But what I want to say is that almost every time a deadly earthquake happens, the authorities or experts give these same 4 reasons. Why? And of all these reasons, which is the most important? I've also seen so many posters who firmly believe the last reason put forward by Chinese earthquake experts is the most important. And many posters are calling on authorities to help build stronger homes for people there. And first, have a listen to 随意而安. What I know is that in some other countries, even a 7 magnitude earthquake causes very few injuries and deaths. And I remember during the flood last time in the US, the houses were buried in water but stood still. Why? It's the quality of the houses. And this poster from Hebei comments on 163.com. I've seen lots of pictures of the quake-hit areas, and I've found that houses there made of steel-reinforced concrete almost stand still, but those shanty houses where most locals live have been destroyed. And finally, Xiruo has this analysis. Yunnan is a beautiful place, and people like to visit there. But we have to remember most of it is mountainous, and transportation and communications are poor. And in some areas, there's not even electricity. People there live a relatively poor life, and it's really hard for them to build a good house. And also, I've seen lots of debates on whether or not people should move out of these mountainous areas to avoid the risk of earthquakes.
Now, stop at the last aspect you just mentioned. What sort of debate have you heard?
Well, one group believes moving people out of these mountainous areas would dramatically reduce the suffering earthquakes cause. Listen to this anonymous poster who asks, "For me, the best solution is to move people out of mountainous areas like this. We can arrange large migrations due to the construction of power plants, so why can't we do the same for the sake of earthquakes?" But others disagree. For example, this poster says on QQ.com, "Nobody wants to live in remote mountainous areas, but the reality is where can they move to? Even if they move, how can they adapt to the new environment? And most of them are elderly farmers. It's not easy for them to get used to urban life."
All right, thanks a lot, Esther. That was China Take researcher Esther Deng with some views on the reasons behind the death and destruction in Yunnan. Well, still to come, some of the top trending phrases on China's most popular search engines. Stay with us.